Today, I'd like to talk about some people that are sometimes strategically placed in your life called dream stealers. Now, they may be cleverly disguised as some of your best friends, your family, and or your acquaintances. And I don't believe that they don't want you to succeed. I believe that sometimes people think you cannot succeed based on their own lack of success or experience in this industry. So they say things like, well, I didn't succeed, so you can't succeed. And it may not be the same company, may not be the same environment, may not be the same experience as what you're going to have. So people say things like, well, I tried the gym, but it didn't work for me. No, you bought the membership, but you never worked out. So you can't say the gym doesn't work. Some folks never actually engage in the thing that they say they're going to commit to. So they've never even gone to a training. They don't even know the #1 money earner, which shows that they've never really embraced the system that they say they want to succeed in. Or they don't have experience as an entrepreneur or a business owner, no experience in our industry. So they don't understand short-term pain for long-term gain. They don't understand in the beginning you're going to do some things you don't get paid for. So in the end, you get paid for things you no longer do. I like to say it this way. You can always count the number of seeds that are in an apple, but you can never count the number of apples that are in a seed. So people look at where you are today, but they have no idea you're preparing something for your generation and the generation to come. And so don't buy into other people's opinions, because if you buy other people's opinions, we buy their lifestyle. Or sometimes only because they don't have enough examples in their life. Otherwise, they would say, oh, yeah, my cousin made $1 million from home, or my ex-coworker walked away from their job because they made millions from home. But because people don't have examples to lean on, they say things to you like you can't succeed. This is like my father. He used to always say, well, Darnell, did you make your $1 million yet? You a millionaire yet? I'm like, I've been in for 3 months, Dad. You've been working for 30 years and not a millionaire yet. I didn't say that because that's my father. My father didn't believe in timeout. I've been knocked out until I woke up and came out of my unconscious state. And so anyway, it's just exciting to be a part of an environment where you do have support. You do have examples that are here to show us that we can do it too. So it wasn't my father's fault. He never had examples. People say this all the time. Well, your great-grandfather was a plumber. Your grandfather was a plumber. Your father was a plumber. What's wrong with being a plumber? Well, nothing's wrong with being a plumber unless you don't want to be one. So be careful buying the opinions of your family, friends, and neighbors. And sometimes it's strangers. People don't even know you, and they're trying to talk you out of your dreams. Folks have never even played the game. Why would you listen to a coach that's never played the game? I never forget I had this bill collector calling me and harassing me. And she's telling me I need to pay my bills. And I'm saying, look, I know I need to pay my bills. I'm trying. And she hears my kids in the background. She says, are those your kids that are here in the background? And I'm thinking she's asking because she's going to be empathetic by hearing my kids. And she says, no, you must not love your kids if you can't pay your bills on time. And I'm telling you, it affected me because I was already emotional because the month before I joined Prepaid Legal, my house was up for foreclosure, my car was repossessed, so I was emotional anyway. And I said, listen, lady, I'm trying to pay my bills. And she says, well, when are you going to pay? And I said, well, I don't have a job. I run a business, so I don't have a steady paycheck. She says, well, you need to get a job. And I said, I'm trying to get a job while I build my business. And she says, well, then you need to do that. So when can I expect payment? And I said, well, right now, I'm working on my dream. So I have no idea. And she said, you need to work on a reality. This is a true story. I couldn't believe it. And so my wife was saying, just hang up. Don't worry about it. So I said, what's your name? And she says, Bernadette. I never forget. It was like it was yesterday. And so I hung up the phone, and I'm telling you, I took pieces of paper. I wrote Bernadette on all these pieces of paper. I wrote it on my sun visor in my car. So when I used to listen to the radio, I would turn the radio off and make calls because I had to prove Bernadette wrong. I would put it in my mirror where I brushed my teeth because in the morning I had to think about what I was going to do that day with my business because I had to prove Bernadette wrong. I put it on my refrigerator. It was all over the place. My wife said, if you don't get that woman's name from around this house, but it drove me to do the things that I otherwise wouldn't have done. I had it where my office phone was because I was afraid to make phone calls. But the fear of Bernadette being right outweighed the fear of me making calls. So I continue to work hard. And never forget, I told my wife, I said, my goal is to make $10,000 a month with Prepaid Legal. When I do that, we're calling Bernadette back. And I worked hard. And we got to $10,000 a month. Man, it was a family affair. We ripped the names down, and we got to the phone, and I called Bernadette. The whole family's there. We're excited about it. And I called the number. And this gentleman says, such and such company, can I help you? And I said, yes. Is Bernadette there, please? And he says, Bernadette no longer works here. I said, no, I couldn't believe it. But the point was, at that point I had grown. I wasn't even calling Bernadette to be rude or mean. I was calling Bernadette to say, thank you, Bernadette, for allowing me to become somebody otherwise I wouldn't have become, to stretch me, to do things I otherwise wouldn't have done. And it was all because someone's placed in my life strategically to force me to do some things. And that's what happens to you as well. Listen, I don't even know if Bernadette was a real person, because I look at her name today, it was Bernadette. So maybe she was put in my life so I could burn my debts. And so all I'm saying is use the dream stealers to fuel you, not to stop you, to make you go further. And there'll be people beside you when you start your journey that won't be there long term. This is why they say it's lonely on the road to success. Not because other people aren't on that road, but sometimes not the same people that started that path or that journey or that road with you. And so sometimes you look to your left or you look to your right, and it's not the same people that started with you, but you ought to keep going. Don't be rigid where you have to hold on to the same people. Be willing to let some people go. It's the only way you can walk into where you need to go. And so I tell you that some people that help you to get to one level won't be the same people to help you get to your next level. So stay strong, stay focused, even when the dream stealers come and cloud your vision. Use your faith for your family, for your finances, and for your future. And I look forward to seeing you all over the top.